It says the pie charts below show the popularity of different sports among male and female athletes in a small Australian town. Let's see how we're going to paraphrase this. Ready? Let's go. Step 1. It says the pie charts, right? It says the pie charts. So what am I going to do instead? I'm going to change it to these charts. Okay? Now, below, we always delete it below. So I'm going to delete it too. Show. Well, remember, we had the verb describe. Always pay attention to subject-verb agreement. So don't say these charts describes. Sometimes, when you switch things around, your subject may change. Always make sure that the verb corresponds to the subject. So these charts describe. Okay, what do they describe? It says the popularity of different sports among male and female athletes. Now here's a little tip. Remember, around the charts themselves, like if you look at the chart itself, or if you have more than one around the charts, you will notice that sometimes the MP has been paraphrased for us. So if the question says the popularity of different sports, here I have the percentage of male athletes, the percentage of female athletes. So why don't I just borrow or steal what I see here from the chart? It makes it easier, doesn't it? So these charts describe. Now, percentage. What could I use instead of percentage? I could use proportion. All right. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but that's another bonus change that you could make. The percentage of can be changed to the proportion of, right? So the proportion of, now it says male and female athletes. So I'm just going to say the proportion of athletes, okay? And then it says in small Australian town. I haven't mentioned the different sports, right? So I could say these charts describe the proportion of athletes in, now it says different sports, doesn't it? So I'm just going to say in various sports. Now, sometimes students say, can I name all the sports? Like instead of saying in various sports, can I say in basketball, table tennis, chess, cycling, track and field, swimming? Can I do that? Well, if there are many categories and if it's going to result in a very lengthy sentence, then don't mention all the names. If it's only 3 or 4 and it's manageable, then why not? Okay, so in various sports, okay? And then the question says, in a small Australian town. Question, do I need to mention how it's a small Australian town? Well, maybe it is important, but there is no urgency for me to mention this in the first paraphrase sentence. So what I'll just do is I'll add Australian to somewhat else. So the proportion of, let's add it here, Australian athletes in various sports, right? Or sporting, we could say categories maybe, but essentially this is the paraphrased sentence that I have. And again, if you go back and review all of the structures and strategies that we've looked at in today's lesson, you'll see that I've actually made changes to all 3, and I've tried to use all 3 strategies. So subject, verb, and MP have been changed. These charts is my subject, okay? So just like that. Describe is my verb. And then the proportion of Australian athletes in various sports, this is going to be my MP. So these are corresponding to what we saw above, just to make sure the colors are all consistent. Here we go. So there, paraphrasing in action.